If you've paid attention to the world of nutrition and dietary advice for any length of time, you've probably noticed something interesting. One week, a study will come out that purports to support conventional wisdom, say that a low-fat diet helps with weight loss. The next week, a study will come out that shows the exact opposite. A high-fat diet that's low in carbohydrate helps with weight loss. If you extend your credulity to anecdote, you'll find a far wider array of claims. Go online and you'll see people in apparent good faith claiming that everything from a raw vegan diet to a pure carnivore diet has helped them not just lose weight, but actually achieve optimum health. How can this be? How can basically every diet seem to work? The answer is SAD. SAD is the unfortunate but accurate acronym that stands for the Standard American Diet. The Standard American Diet in 2020 consists of a lot of processed food. That's sugary things like cookies and cakes, all these snacks, many breads, canned foods. The diet includes a lot of vegetable oil, but not many vegetables, and very little fruit. Over the last 50 years, the amount of red meat in the standard American diet has declined significantly, but that decline has been more than made up by an increase in poultry consumption. Dairy has been a mixed bag over that time period, with the amount of milk consumed declining, but the amount of cheese consumed rising. People are eating a little bit more seafood than they used to, but it's still pretty small. Over the same period, sugar consumption has risen significantly, so that today the average person eats over 150 pounds per year. To go along with this, there's been a huge increase in the so-called diseases of civilization. Those are things like type 2 diabetes, certain cancers, cardiovascular diseases, gout, some people even say dementia. And while it's impossible to 1,000,000% prove that these are linked, most people accept that there is a relationship between dietary habits and the rise in these diseases. But there are big differences in the prescriptions. Keto, vegan, South Beach, vegetarian, paleo, all of these suggest quite different levels of fat, carbohydrate, and protein, and even bigger differences when it comes to individual foods. So meat, dairy, grains, even fruit might be foundational to some of these and completely prohibited in others. They do all depart from the standard American diet, but they do it in very different ways. Yet they must have something in common. My guess, which I've tipped my hand at a bit, is processed food and sugar. All of these, to a greater or lesser extent, take processed foods and sugar out of the diet and replace them with real food. And really the idea is that following any diet with any degree of fidelity will reduce these. Correlation is not causation, but the relationship between them, the increase in processed food in the diet and the increase in disease, and also the evidence that removing processed food is healthy is pretty overwhelming to me. In other words, all diets work because the baseline is so bad. Virtually any intervention is an improvement. Now, this is daunting because the food system promotes unhealthy food. Next time you're in a grocery store, look around. Things like chips, soda, cookies, canned food, ice cream, frozen dinners, breads take up a lot more floor space than everything else. But at least grocery stores do still have a produce section, a meat section, a dairy section, and a place where you can get staples like rice. Many restaurants offer no meal options that don't include at least some added sugar. There's a lot more money to be made selling potato chips than potatoes, and because processed food often tastes great, it's in the interest of restaurants to offer it because people keep coming back for it. In a time-crunched world, processed foods are a lot easier than taking the time to go shopping for raw ingredients and then taking the time to cook them into a meal. But it's also heartening, I think. Personally, I'm fascinated by the absolute best diet. What's the healthiest, what provides the best disease prevention, what provides the best lifespan and health span. But these questions are incredibly complicated, uncertain, and just there's so much contradictory evidence out there that looking at them requires just making peace with the idea that what you think today is true will be proven wrong tomorrow. So in a way, it's very nice that there's this one area that is so clear. Literally anything is better than the status quo when it comes to diet. Simply reducing processed food, reducing sugar, and replacing them with real food can only be good for your health. I'm Garth Brown from Carencrest Farm. Thank you for watching.